I've been quoting alarm company, like, they have.
Yeah, we'll see.
I guess it's part of the law or something.
Now we got it all down pat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think this, that's always. See what somebody else says.
That's good so far. I like the use of
Conversations I had.
I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Preston County Commission. Today is June 28th, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the record show that Commissioner Smith and Commissioner Stone are present. Commissioner Price is out, and he was actually just trying to call in so I can stick him on speakerphone. So I'm going to call him back and get him on the line as he would like to listen to the presentations today. Hello, I have you on speakerphone, and I'm going to stick you up here on the podium here so that you can see if you can hear what's going on, and if you can't, I apologize.
Okay, well, let's see what happened.
All right.
Just thanks for the loader doing everything takes. That's all.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute you if that's all right.
Okay.
Okay, we will start with our assessor's office. Tony?
Am I supposed to have exoneration?
There's a tax correction list
Yes, tax
listed.
correction.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just go
You
ahead.
know what?
I didn't think I had.
Hold on a second. I don't think so either, unless somebody got it emailed on here, because I didn't see it in the folders.
I better go check.
Yes.
Go check.
Yes,
Don't mute me. I can't hear you.
okay, well, I'm not,
I'll mute me so that
okay,
I don't make any noise, okay?
all right.
There we go. Yeah, here it is. I've got it.
Yeah,
She
it
got
came.
Yes, she doesn't need it. She didn't
All right.
have to go
Well, we'll
get
just
it.
go ahead with our presentation from PSD number 1, our 931 appointment with Lucas Tatham requesting ARPA funding. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Glad to stand here.
Yeah, you can stand there or kind of present to them and us at the same
Okay.
time.
Hello, everyone. I'm here from Public Service District Number 1, and it's my understanding that our engineering representative, Colin Cutright, has presented 3 requests to you from PSD. One would be a connection with Masontown, a 6-inch line. One would be a connection with Arthurdale, and the third would be an upgrade to our plant. I'm here to affirm, while we would love to have funding for all 3, and we would put that money to good use, we understand that you have a lot of requests and a lot of other needs. So I wanted to communicate to you on behalf of the board that our number 1 pick would be for the connection, the 6-inch connection to Masontown. I'll quickly talk about the other 2. We are currently in a 90-day agreement with Arthurdale Water to service their water plant and service their lines. We have encouraged them to connect to PSD1 so they can use our water so that we don't have to use their wells. Of their 5 wells, only 2 currently work. However, they've asked for a 60-day extension, so we don't have any direct information on that if that's going through, so that's in the back burner. The request to upgrade our plant, the $400,000 request, that would only be if we did provide water to Arthurdale and if we did provide the water to Masontown. So in essence, we have to have the other 2 projects first. So that brings us back to why the connection to Masontown is most important. The way that this conversation started was they wanted a connection to go to the Circle K RDK, Region for Housing Development, to go in. After conversations with Masontown Water, it became apparent that they don't have enough water currently being supplied to them from MUB. MUB, Morgantown Utility Board, doesn't have the ability to upgrade their lines to provide more water because it's mostly 2-inch lines. So Masontown asked us to provide more water to service their current needs. So we're asking for the funding. It's a total of $1.4 million for the project. We've already secured $646,000 through congressional funding. We've also secured an additional $130,000 through outside sources. So that leaves a remaining of $625,000 that's needed for this project. The project work can begin within 1 year of us securing the funding, and it would take about a year to complete. So we can quickly get it done, and our plant has the ability to provide that water. The benefits of this plan is that it'll fulfill Masontown Water's needs. Currently they're short about 700,000 gallons a month of water, but there's also, it's my understanding that 2 housing developments want to come into the Masontown area. One would be behind the existing Breezeview Apartments. They're wanting to add about 25 houses currently to that area, but they can't do it because there's not enough water for Masontown Water. The second development is on Snake Hill Road, and they're talking about 100 homes, and they're bigger homes, higher value dollar homes, but also it's the same issue. Masontown Water can't supply them with water. Just want to reaffirm that the 3 requests that we've made, 2 of them are not for our existing customers. It's for the ability of PSD 1 to help neighboring water districts, Masontown and Arthurdale. And the 3rd request, the $400,000 to upgrade, that's just more of looking down the road and how can we harden our infrastructure to make it more resilient for the future. So that's something that while it's needed and a priority, it's something that we can wait a little bit longer on. So I'm happy to take any questions.
Just to clarify, just want to make sure I heard you correctly. So your big priority is that connection to Masontown, just obviously for the developments and stuff that's coming on, and you need $625,000. Yeah,
Correct.
so make sure I wrote it down correctly. Thank you.
Are you currently at this time seeking any other source of funding to help with that 625, or have you really exhausted all options to get additional funding?
At this point, we've exhausted.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you've got $646,000 congressionally, you got $100,000.
We're more than halfway.
Yeah, you've done a good job getting over halfway there.
And it's actually a pretty easy project to do, and it's really a project that it should be done. And I think it's easy for everyone to imagine that the Route 7 corridor going west to Mon County and then going further down Snake Hill in those areas is probably where you're going to have more development in Preston County going towards Morgantown. But one of the constraints holding that back is lack of water.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple of housing developments they weren't able to basically turn down because there's no water, not enough water for them.
And we have met with MUB, and we have a written memorandum of understanding that because MUB has the Public Service Commission, they're their provider, and MUB is totally fine with us providing water because frankly, them upgrading the lines to Masontown and to Preston County is not a priority for MUB in their area.
Yeah, their big priority is that dam they're building and that reservoir.
Yeah, so pumping water uphill doesn't make sense, but now that we've upgraded our dam, we have enough water and our plant can handle that capacity. And we are still working with Arthurdale Water to resolve that.
Right. Yeah.
All right, I think you did an excellent job in explaining the need. Is that in an email format or typed up that we can have a copy?
I think Colin sent you, but I also, Joe sent.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. It's in there. So, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I was just coming to make sure that if you can't do all 3, that the Masontown connection is definitely a priority and it's shovel ready and.
It sounds like it's ready to go in a year after funding. Yeah, that's definitely shovel ready. Cool.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I be excused?
Yes.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Yeah, Connie, I tried to stop you. I had it on the drive.
Well, the thing is, we don't have a signature yet
Okay, so you just want to scratch it for this week?
So scratched it for this
So
week?
we're gonna have to wait until next
Okay,
week.
no, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that will bring us to our next appointment, slightly behind, I apologize, with the Preston County Workshop, John Heyer with a request for ARPA funding. I saw him
John was
sneak
a
in.
little late coming in.
He might be
so
out in the
where's he at?
foyer. Thanks, Julie. Good morning.
Morning.
You can come on up, we're ready for you.
Okay.
And if you have support,
I do
they can
have
just
support.
file in here.
They might say a few things too.
Okay, that's fine.
Good morning, my name is John Heyer, I'm the Executive Director of Preston County Workshop. I have with me Becky Lee, which is from the West Virginia Department of Ed. Jeanette Lewis is United Way Impact Coordinator, and they both support the projects that we're looking at. The reason we want these projects is Tom McConnell is our board president, and he feels the need to grow the agriculture side of this project because we want to get more local farmers involved. We want to grow more products for the commercial kitchen that we have at the workshop. And we have a place that food will be used. It will be used for the schools and also for the Helpful Harvest program that United Way has. And we're going to be buying local meat from local farmers. We'll also be buying the products from the produce from local farmers also that we'll be processing in that commercial kitchen, which we're asking for $31,200 for that commercial kitchen. When you look at the committed, the $35,000 is for the building construction that Nelson Corbin is working on right now.
Okay.
That's what that $35,000 for. And this commercial kitchen has a big impact on the community. It allows us to employ more employees at the workshop. We also have a culinary guy that will be taking over that commercial kitchen. He's already been to school for that, so we already have somebody in place that will operate that commercial kitchen for us, which is a big positive. I don't have to fool with it, and he knows how to process everything that we need, and that's what that flash freezer is needed for. And the commercial stove, at some point, it'll be used to train individuals how to do their own canning. We may do some canning for the schools also and for other organizations and be able to sell it to the public as well. So that's a great aspect of that. And then the fencing that Tom has asked for the funding for is the university right across from the workshop entrance, that fields that belongs to the farm. They are going to give him a memorandum of understanding so that we can have that for so many years. And that fencing will fence in 25 acres of property so that the deer will not be able to get into that field, and we'll be able to utilize that farm for that project, which I think will be a big boost for us because we've grown at Kingwood at the Welch farm, which is now the Richmond farm. And we grow crops there, and then out at Independence at my son's house. But the deer is one of our big problems at those fields. With this 20 acres, we'll be able to grow beans, corn, and some other products in there, and we won't have to worry about the deer or anything getting to those fields. So, and we're going to do no-till. That way we won't disturb the soil either. So we'll burn the fields with a product that is safe for the crops, and then we'll be able to grow corn, beans, and whatever we want in those fields, actually.
I can imagine just being close to your facility
Right.
and not spread all over would make. work.
Yeah, and it'll save us a lot of labor and a lot of transportation of equipment, because we could just leave it to the workshop, drive it out, and go into those fields and do what we need to do. Anybody have any questions on that before I let Becky tell you the impact that it makes for Department of Ed?
I don't have any immediate questions other than when could you begin or get the freezer or any of this stuff? What's the timeline look like?
Actually, the construction, Nelson has already got the walls up, he's got the rafters on, so he's gonna be finishing up probably in the next month, and we'll be able to get the equipment in there, order the equipment as soon as we get the funding available.
Okay, I see that at the bottom of here.
And you know, the good thing about the Preston County Workshop, we do hire people with disabilities, and our payroll to these individuals is over $700,000 a year. So we're contributing a lot back into the community by hiring And a lot of them will be working in the fields as well as at the workshop. So it's a good investment back into the community.
Roughly how many employees are you employing?
We actually have 39, I believe, right now.
Will this expansion allow you to hire additional?
It'll actually probably allow us to bring in some of the lower functioning, which that's what they're called because there's only certain jobs they can do. They'll probably be able to work some in the commercial kitchen. I'm not sure about the field, but they will be able to work in the commercial kitchen, helping the culinary expert.
Okay.
So,
All right.
all right, so let Becky explain a little bit.
Good morning, Becky Lee with the West Virginia Department of Ed Office of Child Nutrition. And one of the programs that I work with is Farm to School. And we've been working with John in the workshop for probably 6 years now to just look at how we can grow more local foods that can be purchased by our county operations. So public schools, I work with daycares, public schools, residential childcare facilities throughout the state. So we worked in Preston just to try to grow that market and look at how our county schools can purchase local foods. And this kitchen would allow us to not only process fresh products, but also to look at freezing and flash freezing products that can then be sold frozen, which allows us to expand our season and expand the opportunity for schools to buy throughout the year rather than just during when things are fresh. So we're excited and have just had a great opportunity to work with the workshop and feel like they have been very attentive to making sure things are, they have been certified in good agricultural practices. So that is really important for when we're looking at encouraging schools to buy food, that it's safe and that it's been processed correctly and handled correctly. So those are things that they have gone above and beyond to train their staff and to get certification in those processes to make sure that they're following the best practices and standards to make sure food is safe. And that's one of the things that in securing a chef to look at processing in the facility and hiring someone who has that knowledge and skill set is really a key component as well to help direct the work there. So we're excited and just are so glad that they are willing to continue to grow and see and employ, as well as looking at how we can make more of our local dollars going back into our counties. I mean, that's important. So that's all I have. Thank you.
We're really excited about this program. Not only does it secure employment for folks, but it also focuses on helping our local farmers with the program. Our Helpful Harvest Food program is how this all began. John and Hire in Preston County Workshop has been partnering with the United Way, and this program is operating out of the workshop, serving together over around 13,000 people monthly between Mon and Preston counties. There's no income guidelines where the food pantries just come and load up at the workshop with these wonderful foods, and we focus on nutrition, and then they just give it out into the communities. We serve lots of elderly in our senior population, which is wonderful. So from this program, we decided the commercial kitchen just made sense to keep that nutritional piece going. We want to get nutritional foods into our schools for our kids. You know, we're buying from local farms. We're buying from local, our beef from local farms, and it's being processed at Preston County schools. We're buying our sausage from also being processed at Preston County schools. And so that piece has been wonderful. So we want to grow that piece. And also we wanted to utilize the commercial kitchen for training and teaching people how to can and process. So that will be coming with extension in the future. Any leftover foods we buy from Helpful Harvest, say produce that we, is going we'll process it in the kitchen, freeze it for the winter, and have it for food insecurity all winter to give out to folks. So not only will it be a piece for the Preston County schools and the school system and the workshop, but it will also be helping food insecurity in our counties. We also hope to do addiction recovery piece as far as working in the crops. We hope that programs will bring folks who are in that recovery system who just want to use their hands and work in the soil and learn how to grow and be foods, self-sustaining food. So lots of good things coming with the program.
Thank you.
I just want to add a couple of things. We do have a large cooler at our workshop. It's a 35 by 35 foot walk-in cooler. We also have a 12 by 20 freezer that we can freeze the products in at the same time. And Milo and Pushkar is a big supporter of this project. They are funding the building project that we're doing. They also just sent us a check to pay for the bathroom that goes in that commercial kitchen.
So the flash freezer really is your missing link?
Yes, it is. And the commercial stuff.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we thank you for your
All right,
time
well,
and
thank
all
you
of
for
the
having me.
detail to your presentation. That certainly helps in our decisions. So,
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. I apologize for running a little behind, but I will not apologize for the great information that we're able to get through this process. So we will go ahead and move forward with Julie Miller from the Preston County Camp Board, the 4-H organization. They're representing the 4-H, not the 4-H, it's the camp board is here in lieu of the 4-H program because they're housed at the property where 4-H camp takes place. With request for ARPA funding.
Hello, thank you for having me today. I'm Julie Miller. I'm the treasurer of the Preston County Camp Board, and with me is Rex Galloway. He is a board member. What I gave you is a packet that has a list of our requests and then actual pictures of the things that we would like to have replaced and the updates that need done. Because of COVID, we haven't been able to have overnight camp or fundraisers since 2019. So our revenue is way down due to all that. The operational cost and the overhead cost is just becoming, unreal right now due to everything that's happened. And so we need the repairs and the general maintenance and the parts and everything. All that's been completed right now by the board members and the officers. And we're paying for it out of pocket right now due to no funds. We do have some fundraisers in the works right now for this fall, but right now we have a camp in there, a church camp that's paying, to use our facility, but there's many updates, as you can see on this sheet, that needs to happen due to, safety issues and codes and things like that. We did pass this year, but going forward, we do need to start thinking about replacing and repairing some of this stuff. We've also eliminated most of our paid employees or volunteer, people due to the limited funds that we have right now. As you can see in these pictures, there's multiple things. We have beds that don't have mattresses right now just because of no heat, the mold, like the things that have happened. So we've had to get rid of a lot of stuff due to it not being used due to COVID. But yeah, we would like to have, it's totaling $26,581.93. Like I said, we do have some fundraisers in the process to help with some of this, but there's no way we can get everything done that we need with the fundraisers that we have. So.
Well, I did have an opportunity to go up last summer, and I was trying to put covers on mattresses, and the need for replacement of some of those things is definitely a true need. I do appreciate how you have broken this down. Is the funding, the number one question is when we prioritize, we have to make certain that it can be expended, especially with the ARPA funding. It has to be earmarked by 24, spent by 26. And I'm assuming all of the things that you're needing, your parts, your mattresses, all those things can be ordered and obtained.
Yes, we would like to complete all this prior to camp of next year.
Okay.
So we would like to do it this fall and in the spring, that way, there's not so many campers in and out or people in and out. And
Sure.
so that way they come next year, it's all fresh and
Okay.
and all the repairs have been completed. I mean, we've even talked to, for the pool issue, we've even talked to some, exercise businesses that are willing to come in and do like water aerobics or do some yoga classes just to utilize our pool, because nobody even, like, a lot of people don't even know the camp is there and that they can use it. And we want to expand on, using the pool as a community pool, having some exercise classes, having, more family reunions, graduation party, so we have people down there
Sure.
to use this
So
facility.
you're looking at using the facilities to be able to rent them out as a source of income.
Yes,
And-
yeah, our number one priority is 4-H. I mean, that is what it's there for, and they will get first choice with anything and any dates they want. But while it's not in use, I mean, we're only using it 4 weeks this summer out of the whole summer. So, I mean, there's lots of days that it could be utilized.
Okay. All right, and for those fees, I'm assuming they can reach out to the extension office to get a list of fees to use the facility. and
No,
dates available?
actually, that is where the separation came. We're working on a flyer right now to do that. And John Poole is who you contact, and we're getting a flyer out to do, rentals and to try to get away from the extension office because we're on our own basically now.
All right, perfect.
So-
And hopefully the newspaper can help us with that kind of information, getting it out there.
She has it, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
presentation and the supporting documents. All right, we will move along with Rochelle Thorne, Preston County Parks and Recreation Commission, request to be deeded a parcel of property across from Preston Memorial Hospital. Good morning.
So I think we were just supposed to follow up on that, from what I understand from Catherine. Mentioned just, there were a couple, contingencies or anything like that, so, I don't know if Catherine.
Yes, it's, as we've described, we're prepared to move forward on this contingent upon a few things, namely progress on the parcel.
Right.
If in a period of 5 years, a level of progress needs to be reached, otherwise we would have the land revert back to the county. And second is really maintenance of the property, because it is a sizable piece of land and it fronts on some residential sections of town that we feel like what we have in place is best to continue to keep the grass cut. 5 acres is a bit of a size. You're not going to get a push mower through there. So we would continue to do the maintenance on the property in exchange for a portion of the hotel motel tax funding that PC Park receives. And we would just do that as a direct pull from the funding. Minor thing, we will be talking about the cost of the survey, and everything else past that point is pretty minor. Just sitting down and working out the full agreement.
Okay, all right. All right, are we prepared to move forward with that? Okay.
At this time, I move that the Preston County Commission deed to the Preston County Parks and Recreation Commission parcel of property known as Parcel C on the county farm located adjacent to Preston Memorial Hospital in whole or in part for the purpose of the creation of a county park to house Wade's World of Wonder Playground. Terms to be negotiated include maintenance of the property for the consideration of the land in a reversal clause.
I will second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded, as the motion was read, to move forward with the deeding of the property for Wade's World of Wonder to PC Park and Recreation Commission. Is there any further discussion on this? All right, no further discussion. Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you guys
Thank
so
you.
much, I really appreciate
Good
it.
luck and
Thank you.
another step in the right direction.
Yes.
All right, we shall move forward with Dwayne Hamilton, request for CARES funding for purchase of a vehicle.
We're going to take just a second here, set up a Zoom link with Jeff Smell.
Okay, while you're doing that, if it's okay, we'll move forward with just some basic business.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve and pay the bills that they've been properly presented and approved.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve and pay the bills as they have been presented and reviewed. Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to move that we approve the minutes of the Board of Canvassers from May 16th and also our meeting on May 24th.
I will second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes for the Board of Canvassers, May 16th, 2022, and the minutes for May 24th, 2022. Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to dispense with reading report of the proceedings of vacation and accept them in the record for June 16th through the 22nd.
I will second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to dispense with the readings of the proceedings in vacation and enter them into record for June 16th through June 22nd, 2022. Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to approve the state settlements for Braddock, Colbank, Simmons, and Smith.
I will second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the estate settlement list June 13th through June 13th, 2022. Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes. All right, ready? Okay.
Jeff, can you hear us okay, Lon?
Apparently not.
How about now, Jeff? Hey, Jeff, I think you're still on mute there. I'm not sure if you can hear us. How about now? Can you hear us okay?
Talk to us, Jeff.
While you're working on that, do you mind if we go ahead with Sheriff Craig?
Sure, he dropped off lines and
Okay.
he's
Good morning, Sheriff. Okay. Thank you.
I heard you everything said. I don't have anything to read.
All right, here you can have one back. Commissioner Price is not here.
I think I can go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're gonna put you on hold for just about 1 minute here, and then we'll go back online.
Okay.
It's for utility officer position. It's for Jeffrey McElroy. And it's for $14 an hour for a probationary period of 90 days.
Okay, is it McElroy or McElroy?
McElroy.
Okay, it might be incorrect on here, or maybe,
I think it's spelled correct.
No, that's, yeah,
Okay.
you can say it that way.
okay, all right,
It says McElroy, so.
That's
Okay.
right. Hey, you can spell Smith, Junes.
sure,
If
all
you
right,
want, I mean, it doesn't matter.
all right.
I can double check.
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure. Okay, all right, do I have a motion?
At this time, I move that we approve the hire of this utility officer for the sheriff's department.
I will second the motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve The hire of Jeff McElroy as a utility officer for the Preston County Sheriff's Office. His starting date will be July 1, 2022. Rate of pay $14 per hour for a 3-month probationary period. Then his salary will be based off that same hourly rate. Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
I yield.
Okay, I'll go ahead and bring the commission up to speed on what got us where we're at today. Originally, you all had accepted the bid from Solomon Chevy Buick for a car. By the time we got through all the process, when I called them, telling them we were taking the car had already been sold. And that's what we're finding everywhere. I have secured a car for a day or so, and that we found a Heritage Chevrolet in Maryland. It's the only one I could find. I just started working my way out. That's the only one. They have one coming in. It's on its way to the dealership. We have to be there to pick it up when it arrives. Talked to the prosecutor in reference to foregoing the bid process again on this one because, and he was said that we went through the bid process. This one is actually cheaper, same vehicle than the last one. Last one, you agreed that we accepted the bid on was $37,320. This one came in at $36,619. But they gave us, I got them to give us a $1,000 rebate that was on this vehicle.
Awesome.
Wasn't on the other one. So actually got a little better deal anyway. Here's a copy of the quote from Heritage.
Okay.
And what we're asking today is, the reason we have Jeff on the line, we're asking that we can get the money to pay for this out of the CARES funding. And then after we do that, then originally in the budget, this was to be made through Country Roads leasing and make a payment. Jeff's gonna do a reimbursement versus what he normally does, is pay the dealer for the car, which will give you the money back into your CARES funding.
Okay.
So it just basically is a loan from CARES funding so we don't lose the car again. I have both the documents here, and I'll turn you here. You ready to go, Jeff?
I'm here.
Okay. They have, I'll get both of them the documents, and you can explain it to them what we need to do today, and we'll go from there.
Okay, hi, Commissioner, thanks for having me on.
Hello.
Good to be there first. What we're asking the commission to consider today is a reimbursement resolution, which will give authority for you guys to go ahead and pay for the vehicle, like Wayne said. And then once we get the lease documents created, we will actually reimburse that account with the same lease proceeds that you guys have used.
Okay.
Along with that reimbursement resolution, there is another resolution, which is the basic resolution we always ask you to consider when we enter into a lease agreement. And it is basically authorizing the president to enter into the finance. So if you adopt both of these resolutions today, we'll work with the dealership and with Dwayne, and we'll get this lease agreement created. And you'll be able to sign anytime after you guys adopt this resolution.
Okay. And all of this has been vetted by Jay. Everything's good?
Yeah, well, like I said, I spoke to Jay in reference to not doing the bid process, and the documents, the normal documents we're currently
Okay.
have signed previous to this for, actually it was Crawford's Tahoe that we did that for.
Okay.
And this kind of, what this is doing is taking the place of the enterprise lease. We're going through Country Roads to go through the enterprise for these.
Okay. All right.
And if we can, as far as the CARES check, I think since it's a checkbook, we need that check. So I've got 2 people ready to get the car as soon as it hits the ground and get them on the road.
Okay.
All right.
This time I move that we approve this resolution. I'm not reading this whole thing, I'm just reading the title of it. Because it's, where is it, and all this stuff. Resolution authorizing the execution delivery of master equipment lease purchase agreement and related instruments and determining other matters in conjunction therein. And designated the president sign this. That's one of them.
Okay, so we'll just do separate.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, I will second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to authorize the president to sign this first resolution to move forward as the motion was read. Any more discussion on that? Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
And the second resolution stating the reasonable expectation of the Preston County Commission to reimburse itself for capital expenditures in connection with the purchase of new vehicles made prior to the issuance of a tax exempt master equipment lease agreements. And I move that the president be authorized to sign this resolution.
I will second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to authorize the president to sign the documentation for the resolution as stated for the Preston County Commission to reimburse itself for the capital expenditures in connection with the purchase of the vehicles made prior to the issuance of tax exempt master equipment lease purchase agreement. Any discussion? Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
And the one you just need to sign some, and the other one has to be notarized.
Yes, it does. And is it the notary? And
Well, it says county clerk on there, so.
okay. Yes, it does. All right, so we will get a hold of
The one resolution, just so you know, will be part of the master lease agreement.
Mhm.
So if it's asking for a CH built stuff, it'll be within the agreement itself as well.
Okay, thank you.
No, it's on, it says clerk.
I'll hold off on signing that, and then do we need to get that?
Well, do we need a motion to pay for it out of the CARES funding until the money's reimbursed?
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, at this time I move that we pay for this vehicle out of the CARES funding until proper reimbursement is made.
An exact amount right there on the sheet front of this next to you. Amount of that.
In the amount of $36,619.
Now, associated, just so you know, associated with this, we don't need a check for that, but there's $5,800 some dollars in upfit costs to go along with it.
Right.
That'll be in the
Yes.
financing part of it, so.
Okay.
I will second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to authorize a check be made from our CARES funding in the amount of $36,619 to pay for, it's made payable to Heritage, to pay for this vehicle with the understanding that it will be fully reimbursed dollar for dollar to the CARES funding once everything is completed. Any discussion on this? Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes. Do I need to sign this document? And then we will take care of this one and here shortly, because we
I
have to
think they
have,
can sign that later on, right, Jeff, or?
Yeah, the regular resolution will be attachment number 5 in the agreement.
okay. All
The
right,
reimbursement resolution, it can be signed and dated.
okay. We have authorized the signature. We just have to have a notary present to authorize me doing so.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
You know, that's our thing we like about this versus enterprise. As everybody else was talking about, this is putting money back in the Jeff likes working with the Clear Mountain Bank, so this money stays in the county along with this instead of a big corporation somewhere else. So,
Okay. Thank you, Dwayne.
thank you all.
Thank you. All right, we now have an update with our facilities manager from this past week and moving forward. Joe Lewis.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Good morning, and good morning, everybody. just very recently, the first thing we'll go over, if we may, is the need for the new equipment, all the recorders and DVRs for all the buildings, which would include are the recorders for all the cameras for all the buildings. And it would include courthouse, the sheriff's department, the OAM, the tax office, the voting plaza, the animal shelter, which is all needed. And I've asked Justin, since he has worked before I came, and he's did a lot of the legwork, I've asked him to give a quick update on the importance of this equipment.
Sure. Yeah, so, one of the reasons that we're looking at doing this equipment is the NVRs that we actually have. I mean, this technology dates pretty rapidly, which we got this off of a grant project. So the initial cost was from grant funding several years ago now. But some of the recording equipment is getting kind of dated. And also, when things get dated, they can't be patched quite the same for security reasons. So it kind of poses a little bit of a security risk in itself, just because of the technology that was used with it. So it will enhance the security of that system is one of the biggest things. And secondly, it gives us a little bit more of a fail-safe in your backup data. So right now, for example, we're running each one of these individually in different locations. So if it fails, then we lose the whole data. We can't go back. So if somebody would say, hey, I need footage from, 30 days ago, 60 days ago, if it crashes, your data is gone. So this will put it on more of a central storage solution, kind of like we're doing. And also we can offload it to another location, so it gives you some redundancy. That's between the security benefits and the increased storage capacity and retainment is your biggest issues.
Thank you.
Okay.
So the total cost of the system would be $39,000, and we have got this quote from our vendor that takes care of all this equipment. Now, we have done the budget revision, and we have took the money from $699,999 to put it in $428,230. And we also would like to add that Mr. Joe Halker has worked very hard with the courthouse security grant. And upon getting that grant, that reimbursed back to the county would be $16,562. So upon, us getting that courthouse security grant, he would get back $16,562 of this total fund.
Okay.
So now I have put together the budget revisions, and I have put together the contract for you. We have everything else together. So I appreciate Mr. Justin Wolf better explaining that for us. When I first come, he was very, very helpful in bringing me up to speed with the system. And a couple times the judge had asked for evidence, and there was glitches in the recording. The audio did not meet the video. And so very quickly, thanks to Justin, we started working with the vendor to get the equipment upgraded and replaced, and it took this long. So we definitely appreciate his help in getting this equipment updated as soon as we found that there was a problem, because it could become a great big deal really quick if the judge or the sheriff cannot get some of the evidence that they require.
Okay. All right, so I guess at this time, we need a motion to. Yes. We just need the budget revision, when we get to that part, the money's coming from contingencies and going into contracted services. For the budget revision part, there's two separate things. We'll approve the budget revision separately than the contract. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fixed.
Thanks.
But anyway.
copy?
Copy the same thing, yeah. This one's on Nicholas. Not with that.
Joe, can you look at this real quick?
Okay.
Both Joes.
How was that?
So how was the budget revision already
For
approved?
this?
Well, that was the meeting that you were,
Okay.
Okay. I just
and
wanna make
he
sure.
was acting president.
All right, understood. Okay. Just wanna make
So
sure.
the budget
We already
revision's
did that.
already been approved?
Yes, the budget revision is good to go.
Done.
Okay, all right. That makes better
So we just need a motion to do it.
Yes, and authorize
I
it.
just wanna make sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
This was a little confusing there. Okay. Just wanna make sure. You already did
Yeah,
that.
that was obviously in the meeting with
Yes.
Right.
with Commissioner Price and Commissioner Smith, and I had already left for the budget
Right.
revision.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanna make sure. So
So the
the
budget
budget's
revision
been
is
done,
already
it's the only thing we need to
approved, now we
do.
just have to approve
The contract.
Okay.
my apologies for that.
Do you need this back?
No, I'm fine. At this time, I'd like to make a motion that we approve this contract for the security equipment upgrades
And authorize me to sign?
and authorize you to send.
I will second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve and authorize the president to sign this contract for the recorders for the security equipment. Any discussion, further discussion? All right, Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. So the next thing on my agenda, really quickly before the walkthrough, this is our
Thank you, Justin.
maintenance contract from H.E. Newman Company.
Okay,
And this is the same contract that we've had for several years. As you all know, we have a small staff and sometimes we're on vacation. And we use them, I believe, less and less all the time. But this year, with me still coming up to speed and with vacations and with us doing the upgrade on the under shelter, I felt it was prudent to well, we did not renegotiate, but they was able to keep the price exactly the same as last year. So they did not raise the price. It's basically the same contract, just to extend it for one more year. Now, I believe, Commissioners, after next year, that we can alter the contract or maybe even get rid of it completely. You know, once we're all up to speed and we get our staffing all in place and all the things like that. So I would ask for your consideration to accept the contract for H.E. Newman as our backup maintenance contractor.
okay. Shows here this agreement will commence July 1, 2022 for the amount of $15,420 for the year, payable $1,285 per month. And then it will just run the fiscal year, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and that is with H.E. Newman and Company. Did you like to see this?
Okay, at this time, I move that we authorize the president, that we enter into this agreement with H.E. Newman and authorize the president to sign the contract.
I will second that. It's been properly moved and seconded to move forward with the maintenance agreement with the Preston County Commission and H.E. Newman Company and authorize the president to sign effective July 1, 2022. Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
So the next thing on the list is getting quotes for the new roof for the sheriff's office. We have one quote in already, just to see where we're at with the price of the sheriff's office. We have asked Mr. Steve Spiker from Veritas to give us a quote. There is a Ultimate Roofing that has already given us a quote, and now Chris from Titan, he will be the third and final quote, and I will give you all some idea of what the price of the new roof on the sheriff's office will be. I have asked them to split the sheriff's office in half to give you all more options, the original house part and then the jailhouse part. And I think that they will be back to us very quickly.
Okay.
The next thing, we are still, of course, working on our work orders as they are coming in. And the last thing, they are delivering the AC equipment to upgrade the AC at the animal shelter today. So we will start very quickly and get that installed, hopefully before the hottest time of the year.
Okay.
So thank you all very much, and I look forward to the walkthrough on the memorial. I think it has turned out great. And it seems to be very nice, and everybody worked together, and it seems to be a very nice addition to the courthouse yard.
Thank you, Jim.
On that note, before we do that, well, can we finish up the rest of it, and then we can just adjourn once we get over there, so we're walking back and forth, back and forth.
Mine is
just, if that's okay with you gentlemen, I mean, so we're walking over there, we're walking back.
My list is fairly short.
Okay, well, all right, let's move on. We have no old business unless you have something for CARES funding that you'd like to discuss. All right, and so moving into our coordinators report.
All right. Through this, number one, it's that time of year again, so we are providing you with the annual wage statement and employee schedules. You should have copies of those already. You'll note the addition of the 2 Joes to the list, and that Kathy will be with us for a few hours through the coming year to help keep the transition smooth as possible. And then Sally, you'll note there's $3,000 we have marked for that. That is actually going to come out of community corrections.
Okay.
They are paying for.
Right, because she's been doing their grant paperwork and
Yes,
stuff like that.
and she will be strictly on that grant, but it's just easier payroll wise for us to keep her in the system and then reimburse us through community corrections.
All right.
So with that, I would ask that the President be authorized to sign. This is a notary document.
Okay.
Yeah, at this time I move the President be authorized to sign this
Annual wage statement.
annual wage statement.
I will second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve and authorize the president to sign the annual wage statement for the 2022-23 fiscal year. Any discussion? Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes. It's so odd when the third person's not here to do those motions. So we'll take care of that when we have our jury here. All right.
All right, next on the list is nothing for action today, but just wanted to raise the point of the mini grant applications that have been out there.
Okay.
Basically, you have about $21,000 left in external contributions, which you have about $5,000 committed to the Mountaineer Recreation Trail Authority. So you have about $16,000 to work with. And you have copies of 3 requests so far, totaling $20,000.
Okay.
Parents as teachers, they had made the ARPA request originally. And when they saw how much paperwork there would be involved for $5,000, they agreed that maybe we could consider funding them another way.
Okay.
Preston County Historical Society, looking for repointing the old Terra Alta Bank building. I've been through there fairly recently, and the mortar is just pulling out of the bricks, particularly on one corner. And then Casa for Kids, another $5,000. Now, we also have your community foundation, and Patty Showers Ryan, I believe, will be in to speak on that next week. There is no specific funding amount on that. They are doing their $1 million actually challenge, so they would like as much as we care to give.
Yeah, I remember that presentation she gave us a while back.
Now, we're anticipating the carryover to be a little better than expected, so we would have those funds to work with at that point. So after the July 15th meeting, we would go into hopefully mini grant allocations if the commission so wishes. But I just wanted to give you that heads up and show you some of the requests that are out there.
Thank you. I am responding.
And I am responding. Finally responded with their renewal deal. It took a bit of time for them to get it to us. We had discussed earlier that the funding is down a bit because it is based on the number of participants and the number of calls. That's down, but we are still looking at 10,600 total for the year. It's a little better. They keep giving us prices for multi-year contracts, but then apparently it's a little hard to get them to come together. And I don't know whether Justin and Dwayne are even looking at a multi-year contract at this time because it's still such a new project for us. But everyone does seem to be happy with it in the departments. So with that, I would request that the president be authorized to sign the 22-23 I am responding contract renewal.
This is just a copy of it.
Yeah, that's just for your
Okay, all
reference.
right,
That's
just wanted to make
the
sure it
original.
wasn't something different.
At this time, I move that we authorize the president to sign this I am responding renewal agreement.
I'll second that motion. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve and authorize the president to sign the I am responding contract agreement. Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Yes. And of course, that is effective July 1 for that renewal. And then we went
Yes.
three.
Yes,
Three options, it was a
Yes.
3 and a 5, and we went.
Right, we went with the one.
Yeah.
And speaking with Justin and Dwayne, that even though they are looking that the current agreement just expires June 30th, they're certainly not going to shut us off
Right.
at that point. And as we pay for them through the new budget year, there's a lot of leeway in getting that taken care of. And I believe that's what I have on my list.
No budget revisions
No
today?
budget revisions.
I didn't see any
We are-
to this or
With a
anything.
couple days to go in the fiscal year.
Right,
Yeah.
Certainly hoping.
that there are,
Yeah.
okay. Any miscellaneous correspondence?
Not at this time.
Okay. John, do you have anything you wish to discuss any further?
Not right now. I hope everybody has a good 4th of July.
Okay. I have been attending a couple meetings. Of course, the Economic Development Authority meeting went well. That's our full board. We reappointed some of our executive board members, gave information to the full board if they would like to be considered for executive board positions next year at this time, what they need to do that. Looking to fill a couple full board positions. The town of Terrata, it needs a representative. If there's anyone in the community of Terrata that would like to serve on the full board and represent Terrata, they need to reach out to the mayor up there, and the mayor will then contact the Economic Development Authority office, Roberta Baylor, and then she will submit the letter to the county commission, and then we appoint those positions to the full board. So that one is one that is there's a vacancy there. Education is, will have a vacancy, and they're aware of that, and we'll be sending their recommendation to the EDA as well. As Jack Kahn will be finishing up here on the 30th as a member of the Board of Education, and he will no longer hold that position. So they are moving forward with that replacement as well. Off the top of my head, without having my notes, those are the 2 vacancies on the full board. So, of course, moving forward with that will be good to get those areas definitely represented. Of course, attended a Kingwood Waterworks meeting with the Friends of Cheat as they continued their discussions on the removal of the dam in Albright. So they're working together to make sure that their water intakes will not be put at risk with the removal of that, the dam. So that's always a concern, is making sure that those types of things are covered before doing anything there. Town of Preston, Representative Laura Delaney, she reached out to me, and I'm going to reach out to some contacts that I have. There's a small bridge in town that's not owned by the state, but is starting to have some issues there and is in need of replacement. So looking to, not offer, of course, financial assistance, but looking to help get the connections made to see what we need to do what they need to do to get that remedied. And then as far as that goes, I don't think I have anything else today to discuss that's just extra stuff. Is there anything else? Connie, do you have anything or? Okay, all right, anything, Joe, anything else additionally that you can think of?
None this time.
Okay, well, again, I'll reiterate, happy 4th of July to everyone, and there's a lot going on in the county this coming holiday weekend. There's an event at Dream Mountain that'll bring some folks in and create some additional traffic and probably good for the businesses along the way as they come in and out. There's also the event out at Marvin's Mountaintop, the festival out there. Along with, I'm sure, some fireworks going on for the annual events that take place in Tarata.
Yes, I would be remiss as a Terrell Alton if I didn't give a pitch for the
Right.
old-fashioned day in the park on July 4th. However, the 4th of July parade in Terra Alta will not be held until the 8th.
Till the 8th?
Yes.
That's good to know. Also, I did see some road advertisement. It appears that, and I can't remember the exact date. Do you know the fireworks out at the youth center? And it's on the 3rd. I couldn't remember if it was the 3rd or the 4th. But they are hosting fireworks out there also at the Preston County Youth Center. So I'm sure there'll be other ones as always. Hopefully they're letting them off legally and safely and being cognizant of people and pets and all the things that tend to get riled up during those times. So again, safe holiday travels to anybody doing so. And with that, we will adjourn this meeting officially and move forward with our tour of the Veterans Brick sidewalk across the street. Thank you. What do we need to do about a notary? Are they coming over? Do we have to go over there?
Many of you just come upstairs and we get Angie.
Okay, well, it says on the one that the county clerk is the notary.
That one, the one for Dwayne, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yes, so there's two things here.
Mine, the one I gave you is just a general
Right, it
thing,
is.
so that's easy enough.
So I'll have to, well, I'm not signing it. Is she in? Okay, I mean, I can stop down there
Want me to come your way?
and see her with this and take care of it.
And
And
Mike,
then give me a copy. As soon as we finish up, I've got to go over here and then I'll come back and take care of this stuff. You good with all that? Do you want me just to bring all of this to you when I come? I know, there is a lot. This won't take very long over there. Do you want me to get your bearings about you while we go do that real quick and then I'll come back and help you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm leaving all my stuff here too, so
Alright.
just shut down.
And I don't think there's anything in my stuff, Dee, that you need or anything. That's just,
There's that.
yeah, I need to stamp that.
The project.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.